This is breaking news from RTV6, working for you.
I honestly did not know that what I was doing was wrong. I still don't understand why we're being punished.
The head basketball coach at Southport High School says his team should not be punished for how it recruited a player this year. Now that school is fighting back. Good afternoon, I'm Lauren Casey. Southport High School is officially appealing that ruling handed down this week, barring its men's basketball team from the state tournament. But the team's coach is arguing that that punishment doesn't fit the crime. Our Troy Washington was at that news conference with the coach that was held just a short time ago. She joins us live right now from Southport High School with more on this story. Troy.
That's right, guys. Now, the team says that this was a crisis situation. They were trying to help a student in need, and they shouldn't be punished for helping. As of right now, an appeal has been filed, but the coach will still have to sit out 2 games, as well as the team not playing in the IHSAAA tournament being hosted by Southport High. Today, Coach Brand explained this is not a case of recruiting. If anything, this shows just how much the school cares about a student's stability. Since he claims a student from Congo landed at the school through an illegal process unrelated to them. The school only meant to make things right.
I honestly did not know that what I was doing was wrong. I was transparent with my superiors the whole time. I felt like if I raised the money and the fact that this young man could not this year play varsity basketball, I still don't understand why we're being punished.
The school is still waiting to hear back from IHSAA. Now, they're hoping that they can hear back before that tournament in late February, early March. We'll keep you updated on this. Working for you, reporting in Southport, I'm Troy Washington, RTV6.
Troy, thank you. So what's next in this situation involving Southport High School and its basketball team? Our team coverage continues right now with Chief Investigator Rafael Sanchez. Rafael, where do we go from here?
Well, Lauren, good afternoon. This can be somewhat complicated and a little bit controversial, so let's go through the process. There's always a process. A date for a hearing has not been set because the review committee must be called to Indianapolis. So nothing is set to happen until after the Thanksgiving break. The Indiana High School Athletic Association will meet in Indianapolis to hear the appeal. Southport will be given the time it needs to make its case in that hearing, which is closed to the media and to the public. The committee will then have 7 to 10 working days to release a decision. If Southport does not like the outcome, they can take that sanctioning body to court. To that end, remember 2015 and this bench clearing brawl? It led the Indiana High School Athletic Association to banning the Griffith and Hammond High School boys basketball teams from participating in the state tournament. The IHSAA decision was challenged in a Lake County court. A judge overturned the decision, allowing Griffith and Hammond to play in that 3A sectional game that year. So at this point, Southport believes the current situation there is unjust, as they call it, and they hope the punishment imposed can be dropped. We'll have to see what happens. Again, there's a process, and that'll take over the next couple of weeks here in Indianapolis.
Rafael, thank you for that update. Of course, we'll follow that story closely. We do want to take a turn now to our forecast, giving you a live look outside right now. Todd, the day is starting out not too bad, but you say things are going to take a turn as we get later to this evening.
You know, once we get to the evening hours, Lauren, and then beyond, it's a pretty active 24-hour stretch of weather. First rain and then a lot of wind heading our way. It's pretty quiet right now. As you mentioned, temperatures are in the 50s. Not bad. We're already above normal for where we should be this time of year. And we've had some sunshine here throughout the morning and now early afternoon hours, although as you look to the north here, the clouds are really starting to take over, and that trend will continue here throughout the remainder of the afternoon as they overspread the area, the clouds that is from south to north, and a few isolated showers starting to appear. So it's not out of the question this afternoon that you could get a hit or miss shower here or there, but it's really this moisture you see from Memphis back towards Dallas, combined with the area of low pressure bringing snow to parts of Colorado and Nebraska now. That's going to team up and bring us a lot of rain after sunset. So we climb into the mid-50s with some spotty showers throughout the afternoon hours, but once we get to about 7 o'clock onward, we get into heavy rainfall that will continue overnight. Do not be shocked if you hear some rumbles of thunder. And then once the front goes through, that ends the rain threat by about 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. But after that, we transition into a very, very windy period. A high wind watch is out for the entire area. More on the wind coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. New this midday, a cable guy has pleaded guilty to fraud and theft charges for stealing a grandmother's credit card while on the job. Quentin Wilson was accused of racking up thousands of dollars in fraudulent purchases. Surveillance video appears to show Wilson using the grandma's credit card at a Best Buy store. At the time, Wilson worked as a Comcast contract employee, but the company says he's no longer performing Comcast duties. In a phone interview with RTV6, Wilson denied those allegations. He'll be sentenced on February 3rd. The future of 3 schools is up in the air after Indianapolis Public Schools voted to part ways with a charter school group. Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School, Howell and Manual High Schools, they're all struggling to get back in 2012 when they were taken over by the state. Charter Schools USA was put in charge to get these schools on the right track, but now IPS wants to take the schools back. In the coming weeks, the state board is set to decide who will be in charge of these local schools. Last night, families and teachers met at a public hearing to voice their opinions.
I just really hope that the board recognizes what we're trying to do and gives us a chance to keep doing it.
While we have the utmost respect for the educators and the staff here, we have major issues with the administration, with the management.
If you missed this meeting, you can submit online comments to the Indiana State Charter Schools Board until Friday. You can find their contact information under this story in the RTV6 app. With your Thanksgiving dinner just around the corner, you may wonder why you love sweet potato pie, but maybe you have a relative that hates it. A research class at Purdue University is working to figure out why. Purdue has what it's calling a spit lab. Spit stands for saliva, perception, ingestion, and tongues. Students there take all those factors into account during their research. Assistant Professor Corey Runnings runs the spit lab, and she tells us that her #1 goal is to make food taste good for everyone, especially those vegetables.
No, this isn't just about having a healthy diet. It's also about the quality of your life and whether you're enjoying what you're eating.
Far researchers have found that taste is a complex thing. Everything you eat can impact the way something else tastes later on in the day and what you may crave later in the day. So Purdue is looking for more people to be part of this spit study. You can check that out at the Purdue Spit Lab online and our story on the app to find out more. The Indiana Fever have a new head coach. The team announced within the past hour that veteran coach Marion Stanley will take over the Fever next season. Stanley has been an assistant with the Washington Mystics for the last 9 seasons. The Women's Basketball Hall of Famer won 2 national championships as a college player and 2 more as a college coach. She was also WNBA Coach of the Year back in 2002. Stanley replaces Pokey Chapman, who was fired this year after 3 straight losing seasons. It isn't always the warmest road race in Indy, but it does help a lot of people keep warm and fed over the winter season. Next on the news at noon, it's not too late to be a part of this year's Drumstick Dash. Todd.
And I will be out there on Thanksgiving morning running with everybody for the Wheeler Mission, and it looks like the weather will cooperate for that event. Before we get to Thanksgiving Day, though, a lot of rain and a lot of wind to get through. The rain arrives this evening, the wind tomorrow. We'll talk all about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. You're watching the news at noon right here on RTV6.
The Connors, new tonight on ABC. This is RTV6 News at Noon, working for you.
I'm Ted Rollins. Today on Court TV, the husband of a Florida doctor who was beaten to death with a hammer is facing first-degree murder. Dr. Teresa Sievers, a mother of 2, was murdered in her home after returning from a trip in June of 2015. Her husband, Mark, who was in Connecticut at the time, is accused of orchestrating the ambush. The motive, according to prosecutors, millions of dollars in life insurance and custody of the couple's children. The defendant's friend, Curtis Wright, has already admitted to actually killing Dr. Sievers, along with another man, Jimmy Rogers, who was found guilty of second-degree murder last month. A key witness in this case is Rogers' girlfriend, who told police that Rogers admitted traveling from Missouri to Florida to kill Dr. Sievers.
It wasn't like a big, long conversation. I was just like after you guys came, I asked him if he went to Florida, and he told me yeah. And then I asked him what he went down there for, and he said to make money. And then asked him how he was going to make money, and it was murdering Mark's wife.
Mark Severs has maintained his innocence, claiming Wright and Rogers killed his wife on their own. If convicted, Severs faces a possible death sentence. We'll have continuing coverage of this trial, plus other legal news throughout the day on Court TV. Now back to you.
And you can learn more about other court cases all around the nation right now by visiting courttv.com. If you're taking a trip for the holiday weekend, you may be waiting a while, whether you're traveling by land or by air. Coming up, a big storm that could impact your travel plans. We'll be right back.
Watching.
Hundreds of flights have already been canceled this midday, including a few between Indianapolis and Denver. This is what Denver's airport looks like today. A record holiday travel week is getting underway, and as ABC's David Curley tells us, this major storm could wreak havoc on some travel plans.
I'm David Curley in Washington, and the Thanksgiving travel rush is on. As you can see at airports around the country, already there have been cancellations because of the weather in Denver. And of course, that is a major hub, which means that those cancellations will ripple through the system today. Here are the good times and the bad times to travel over this weekend. Look at today, 2.8 million or so travelers today. Then tomorrow, close to a record. Then watch the numbers dip dramatically on Thursday. And Friday is close to a normal day. Saturday like today, and then Sunday expected to be the busiest travel day ever in U.S. passenger travel. 3.1 million folks trying to get home after the holidays. It continues again until Monday will be a very busy day as well. So the question is, what about security? Well, the TSA at their checkpoints at airports around the country tell us that they have added officers and they're using overtime to try and deal with this. They've dealt with 2.8, 2.9 million passengers before, but 3.1 on Sunday will be a challenge for the TSA. They say they're up for it. A very busy travel weekend this Thanksgiving. I'm David Curley in Washington.
And back here in Indianapolis, we want to talk to Todd Clausen about our weather here and how that could impact any travel plans. Some people may be heading out tonight, Todd. A lot of schools, this is their last day of the week. What should they expect?
You know, tonight it's rain, tomorrow it's wind, but we do avoid all the wintry weather, which is at least good news here locally. Obviously, the rain and the wind can cause some issues, and that'll be the main impact tonight. First the rain, and then tomorrow it's not so much the precipitation. It's going to be those really, really gusty winds. Now, outside right now, it's not all that bad. Temperatures are in the 50s, including getting close to 60 degrees over in Muncie and Connorsville right now. It's 54 in Columbus, as well as Martinsville, officially 52 in Indianapolis. The clouds, though, kind of overtaking things now across the area, and they'll continue to thicken up throughout the remainder of the day. So our temperatures probably go up another couple degrees for your afternoon highs, and that should be just about it as the showers start to develop across the area. So I'm going to set the stage nationally for you and then kind of bring it back home, because here's the snow that we were just talking about in Denver. That's going to move into the plains here throughout the evening hours as we get the rain. It's rain in Chicago. They're still on the warm side of things. Minneapolis, a big Delta hub. Going to be some issues there later on tonight. And then there's another big storm coming on shore, an even stronger storm in the west. So it's rain along the coast, mountain snows, but a lot of wind here as well throughout the course of the day today and tomorrow, from California really all the way up into Washington State. And of course, when it's very windy, they have to spread the planes out a little bit further. That results in delays, so that's why we're going to run into some issues. A lot of wind on Thanksgiving Day in the northeast, but that storm system is starting to move out. And then you notice that storm system that comes on shore in the Pacific is going to be making its way across the country Thanksgiving Day, and eventually arrives here for the weekend. So that's kind of the overview. There's a lot going on, I know, so you make sure you check with your carrier before you take to the roadways. You make sure that you're not going to be driving into a lot of heavy snow. So there's a spot shower or two trying to develop. Eventually, this snow and this rain comes together to combine to make that major storm. So don't be shocked from this point forward throughout the day if you get a quick sprinkle. But the steady rain will hold off until later tonight. But once it starts, it comes down heavy overnight tonight. Don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder with a few storms. Nothing severe. And then the front will come through tomorrow around 6, 7 o'clock with another burst of wind and another burst of heavy rainfall. Once that goes through, though, precipitation-wise, pretty quiet for the remainder remainder of the day tomorrow, which is good news for travel. The issue is going to be the winds. Tomorrow, the winds will be steady, anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour, gust of 50 miles per hour, if not higher. A high wind watch is out. They will break that down either into a wind advisory or a high wind warning for the day tomorrow. And temperatures start off tomorrow at 51 and then fall back down into the 40s as those winds really start to kick in. Thanksgiving Day is quiet. That is good news for the Drumstick Dash, which you'll hear about in just a second, at 42 degrees before another storm system heads our way for the weekend. First wind and rain on Saturday, then maybe some snow on Sunday. Lauren?
All right, Todd. Well, you just mentioned it there. It's a Thanksgiving Day tradition here in Indy. The Drumstick Dash happens again this Thursday morning in Broad Ripple. It's a chance to get some pre-turkey dinner exercise and, of course, to help a great cause. Steve Kerr is the founder of Drumstick Dash. He's also the executive vice president of advancement for Wheeler Mission, kind of behind this whole event. Steve, thanks for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, well, we're so excited. We love to see what goes on at the Drumstick Dash every year. This is one of the biggest races in the country.
It is.
Altogether.
Thanksgiving Day is the largest running day of the year.
Okay.
We're probably the second largest Thanksgiving Day race, and we're the 50th largest timed race of all races now.
Wow, so a big deal here. A lot of folks getting involved. What can they expect on Thursday if they're coming out?
Great weather, thanks to Todd, first of all.
Very important.
We'll have a great crowd. We encourage people to get there early, to find a place to park, and get lined up in their corrals early just to avoid that rush. We'll start promptly at 9 o'clock in a wave start. But probably the biggest thing we want to emphasize is there's no race day packet pickup or registration.
Okay, very important for the folks to know if they're getting involved in this. Wheeler Mission, talk to me a little bit about what we're raising money for. It's so important.
This is an event that raises significant funds for the homeless right here in central Indiana. Wheeler Mission solely owns the Drumstick Dash, so 100% of the proceeds stays here to provide critical services to the homeless, men, women, and children all throughout the year.
And this is a great time of year to think about that because we're being thankful. We're getting into the cold season, which I know is when people need these services even more than during the rest of the year.
You're absolutely right. Our numbers just rise exponentially this time of year. We'll be sleeping any given night hundreds of men, women, and children on gymnasium floors and the floors of our facilities. So events like the Drumstick Dash and even people volunteering through the year is critical to us this time of year especially.
Okay, so for anyone who wants to run, they can still participate, they can still sign up,
yes,
right?
Today is the last day for online registrations. They can still go to drumstickdash.org, sign up today, or they can sign up at the expo tomorrow at the Harvest Pavilion, Indiana State Fairground, and they can sign up all day tomorrow up to 8 o'clock.
All right, Steve, thanks so much for being with us here today. We appreciate it. Looking forward to a good run on Thursday.
Thank you.
When we come back, it is time for our pet of the week, and you guys have got to see this little gal. Look how cute Ginger is. Todd's going to talk to the folks at Indy Humane and see how you can make Ginger a part of your family this holiday season. We'll be right back.
491-6644.
All right, it's that time of the week once again for our Pet of the Week. And Gabby Hoyt from the Humane Society of Indianapolis is with us with our Pet of the Week. And today we are featuring Ginger. So Gabby, tell us all about Ginger.
Awesome. So Ginger is a very lovable, silly girl. She's about 4 years old, and she is looking for a home where there is a little less foot traffic, and maybe she could just coexist with you on the couch, watch TV.
She'll look like that.
Yeah.
Just sitting next to you or laying next to you on the couch. Yeah.
Exactly. She's a little bit sensitive and shy at times, but she's just wanting to live the good life, nice and slow. Ginger does have to take anti-seizure medication every day, so that is something a little bit special. But other than that, she's looking for somewhere to spend the holidays.
You know, and that's just a maintenance thing, right? I was telling Gabby, I have high cholesterol. I take the daily cholesterol pill before I go to bed. So Ginger, you just got to mix it in with her food, and she won't even know it's there. So probably key, she goes to a home where she's probably the only pet as well, right?
Yes, only pet. She prefers to be the center of the attention.
All right, well, if you want to look at that cute little face while you're watching TV or doing whatever around the house, you can pick up Ginger at the Humane Society when Gabby gets back, right around 1 o'clock here this afternoon. Let's give her a good home. All right, let's take a final look at your 7-day planning forecast. Rain arrives tonight. It's steady and heavy overnight with even a few rumbles of thunder. Rain ends tomorrow by 7 a.m. and then extremely windy tomorrow with gusts of 40 to 50 miles per hour. Thanksgiving Day itself, though, looks quiet with mostly cloudy skies and a high of 42.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us, making RTV6 your choice for news. Come back here, join us for the news at 5. We hope you have